All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're tackling a big one, Google's Security Command Center. It's a platform built to solve one of the trickiest problems out there right now, how to actually secure the cloud. So let's get into it. First things first, we've got to frame the problem. As pretty much everyone moves to the cloud, and not just one cloud, but multiple clouds, a huge question pops up. Why is this stuff so incredibly hard to secure? Well, it really boils down to three things: scale, speed, and complexity. You've got a massive number of resources. They spin up and down in minutes, and it's all spread across different platforms. The old way of doing security, building a castle wall around your data center, it just can't keep up. And this creates what I like to call the modern cloud security challenge. Your teams aren't just looking for a needle in a haystack. No, they are drowning in alerts, thousands of them, which means they're effectively blind to the handful of risks that could actually sink the business. And when you break it down, the headache is real. You've got one set of tools for Google Cloud, another for AWS, another for Azure. Your security teams and your dev teams are working in their own little worlds. There's no single place to see what's really going on, so everyone just gets buried in alerts. And here's the real kicker. Most major breaches, they start with simple misconfigurations. And because of all this chaos, the response is just way too slow. So, what's the fix? Well, the idea is to build a unified command center. You need a single platform that's designed to bring some much-needed clarity to all that cloud chaos. And that is exactly what Google Security Command Center, or SCC for short, is all about. At its core, it's a centralized risk management platform. It gives your teams that single pane of glass they're always looking for, one place to see everything happening across your entire cloud footprint. But here's the thing, SCC isn't just one tool. It's really a fusion of several critical security platforms. It brings together Cloud Security Posture Management, or CSPM, which finds all those misconfigurations. It combines that with Cloud Workload Protection, or CWPP, to secure your actual running applications. And then it layers on top-tier threat intelligence from Mandiant, and of course, Google's powerful AI to make the whole thing smart. Okay, so we know what it's made of, but what does this unified platform actually do? Well, you can think of it as constantly performing four essential security jobs 24/7 to keep your environment safe. It all starts with the basics, asset discovery, because you can't protect what you can't see, right? So SCC is always mapping every single resource you have. Next, once it knows what's out there, it moves to vulnerability and misconfiguration detection. Basically, it's hunting for all the open doors and windows. The third job is threat detection. This is your 24/7 guard, sounding the alarm the second it spots an active attack like malware or crypto mining. And finally, it handles compliance management, automating all that tedious but crucial work of checking your setup against big standards like NIST, HIPAA, and PCI DSS. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds like a lot. And you're right. But Google has designed this to grow with you. It's structured in what they call a crawl, walk, run model, which gives organizations a clear path to getting more secure over time. Let's break that down. At the crawl stage, you have this standard tier. It gives you basic security posture management for Google Cloud, and get this, it's completely free. It's a no-brainer to turn on. When you're ready to walk, you move up to the premium tier, which adds advanced threat detection and this really powerful feature called attack path simulation. And for the run stage, you have the enterprise tier, which gives you the whole shebang plus true multi-cloud support for AWS and Azure. Okay, let's zoom in on that feature I just mentioned, attack path simulation, because this is a total game changer. This is where we shift from just finding individual problems to actually thinking like an attacker to understand real risk. So what is it? Think of it like having your own virtual red team, a team of ethical hackers on duty 24/7. It creates a digital copy of your environment and then runs millions of simulated attacks against it to find those hidden pathways an attacker could actually use to get to your most valuable data. And this isn't just some basic scan. As Debbie Cabrera from Google Cloud puts it, the system literally plays the role of a sophisticated and highly motivated attacker. It's trying to find the creative, multi-step attacks that a simple vulnerability scanner would totally miss. Let me show you how this works. SCC looks for what it calls a toxic combination. So first, an attacker finds a server exposed to the internet. Second, that server has a known software vulnerability they can exploit to get in. Third, and this is key, they find out the server's service account is way overprivileged. It has permissions to do things it shouldn't. Finally, they use those extra permissions to jump from that server and access a super sensitive database. See, none of these issues alone is a 5-alarm fire, but together they create a critical path to your crown jewels. And this ability is what really solves that multi-cloud nightmare we started with. The old way was chaos, siloed tools, blind spots, and slow responses. The new way with SCC Enterprise is unified risk management. It's one single platform to see, prioritize, and actually fix the most critical risks, no matter which cloud they're in. So when you put it all together, this really points to a massive shift in security strategy. The future isn't about just reacting to alerts anymore. It's about getting proactive and truly managing risk. And that right there is the big idea behind Security Command Center. It's about moving your teams away from that endless, soul-crushing cycle of chasing alerts and empowering them to focus their limited time and energy on the toxic combinations, on the attack paths that pose a real, tangible risk to the business. Which really just leaves us with one final question for you to think about. As the cloud landscape gets more and more complex every single day, is your security strategy actually ready for this new multi-cloud reality?